Lisa.
Thank you.
Let's start with the winningest moment of the year. Of course, I'm talking about, watch this.
Its soul is inhabited by the ghost of Betty, and now it will murder people. It will eat trolls with its razor fangs. I'm smoking a cigarette and drinking something I won't reveal. Unless they pay me. Everybody wins.
Did he really win, Dylan?
I think it's a tie, Dr. Drew. He walks away from Warner Brothers and CBS TV with a golden parachute for ultimately his bad behaviour, some $25 million, I'm told. He has a new TV show. He has a chance to rebuild his career. But we have never seen a blow-up, a disaster from a celebrity the way we did with Charlie Sheen. Never before has a celebrity opened his doors to the media the way he did, and we watched it before our very own eyes.
In the middle of a crisis, in the middle of a mental health crisis.
And to shun his advisors, his closest advisors, and take his own counsel. And, of course, we saw where that ended up. But the interesting thing for me was that we heard last week from Chuck Lorre, the EP of 2.5 Men, and he said for the very first time that the reason Charlie Sheen was fired was because there were violent incidents on set. Charlie hasn't addressed that. And there was cocaine use. So clearly there were two very serious issues which ultimately forced the TV exec's hands.
One of the things that bugs me, ladies, to address this for me, if you will, did the public learn about mental health from this? I mean, here was a guy, addiction and manic state. Do you think people took that home, the understanding?
No, I don't. I think,
so
you know,
either.
I was at an airport when the video that you just showed was broadcast, and everyone was clustered around it, watching it, wrapped and laughing and cheering and high-fiving each other. You know, we love sort of crazy manic behavior without recognizing that it really is a form of mental illness and deserves our compassion.
It's dangerous. It can break down in violence, as we're hearing it did, and people kill themselves in manic states more likely than in depressed states.
I actually think some people had their eyes open to actually see it. You can hear about it, you can talk about it. When you actually see it, and then having people like you talk about it, I think it might actually help some people.
I hope it does. I mean, I hear he's doing better, Dylan.
I traded text messages with him yesterday, actually. Yeah. I didn't ask him whether or not he was sober, but he made an insinuation dating back to the infamous incident for Radar Online where he allowed us to test his urine, which came back indeed clean for a number of drugs. And he made an insinuation again that we could test him and he would be clean.
That's great. That's
so
good news.
Do it.
Yeah,
I'm just glad somebody finally said enough is
Christmas.
enough, right? I mean, so many of these celebrities have been acting out, and finally somebody said, you know what, the money's not worth it. We're going to stop him and say, no more.
It's constant violence against women. I mean, repeatedly over the years,
There is
over and over again,
yeah.
which
and
very
pass
rarely gets
after
addressed.
pass on that. No
Why
one
doesn't
else.
it get
Oh, it's
addressed?
Charlie Sheen,
Yes.
you know?
Right.
Why does he get a pass?
Because it was him.
Why does he get a pass?
I
This is
don't
back to
know.
that same issue we were talking about in the last segment that you guys were on, where women have special aggression towards women, and men, we give them a pass if they seem like nice guys.
Well, I don't think Charlie Sheen's necessarily got a pass. He lost his $2 million
I
job.
No, but here's the deal. Let's just to put a little bow around his year. I expected his urine to be negative when you tested him because what we saw him, my patients, my stimulant patients, cocaine and speed patients, when they get into that manic state, they don't want to use right then because they're just all high all the time. And actually they're using peers get jealous of them because they don't have to use to get the high. But then once they come down, that's when they start using again. It seems to me he's doing a lot better. And I actually do wish him the best. Another shocking moment, or not so shocking from this year, Lindsay Lohan back in Cork, working at the morgue, posing for Playboy. Watch this.
I'm not taking this as a joke. It's my life.
I am revoking her probation. I am also setting bail at $100,000. Do a minimum of 16 hours at the morgue.
Lisa, over, under, that she stays out of jail in 2012?
Well, you know, as you know, I know her father well. I've represented him. I know the family a little bit. Certainly, we wish her the best. We hope for the best for her and for everyone who's got substance abuse problems. But the odds are not good, as you know. The relapses are constant. They keep on coming.
Well,
she's
like
got to really
Lindsay,
make a commitment to having a different kind of life than she's been leading.
That is correct. That there's addicts believe they can maintain the party, continue the party, and not use. It doesn't work like that. Lonnie, was the justice system... Did the justice system serve her well this year?
You know, actually, baby steps. She's actually learning to start to follow the rules a little bit. I give a lot of credit to the judge, Stephanie Satner.
Okay.
I have appeared in front of her to prosecute cases, and she has this very firm, yet sort of motherly approach, and I think for some reason it's resonated with Lindsay Lohan, and she's actually
but Lonnie, the judge is good, but what is the system telling her when she goes in supposedly for a month and she gets out in 2 hours?
Well, But that's not necessarily the judge's fault. That
No,
is
it's
our whole
not.
criminal
It's the
justice
system.
system
Well,
in
yeah.
California. I mean,
the
that's a
system is
bigger
serving
issue
her at
than.
all.
Well,
Or
but
serving
it's
us.
okay right now. So far, so good. Mark, would she have been treated differently in Florida? You think? I mean, California, we got problem here. We have no
got
room for
problems here.
criminals.
Right.
Well, yeah, she would have been in a place where she could possibly hit rock bottom and spend time with herself and then realize, okay, now it's time to get well. You know, we laugh about her and even Charlie Sheen, but what I see is something that's very sad. Both of them are addicts. And as you can testify to, one of three things is going to happen. They're either going to get well, they're going to wind up in jail, or they're going to wind up dead. It doesn't look like they're on their way to getting well. They haven't changed people, places, or things. They're not working a 12-step program. I'm very concerned about both of them.
Yes, I agree with you, Mark. And we don't know about Charlie. Maybe he is. Maybe he is because he's heard they got a family which has a rich heritage and 12-step. Okay, well, I'm thinking the best. Probably the biggest story, one of the biggest stories, the marriage and divorce, public backlash, who with everyone or from everyone who was keeping up with the Kardashians. Watch this.
The year's biggest celebrity wedding was the talk of the tabloids.
Did you get your invitation to the wedding?
Reality star Kim Kardashian and NBA player Kris Humphries exchanged vows in an over-the-top ceremony, only to file for divorce 72 days later.
Many of you probably tuned in to see what happened in Kim's 72-day marriage to Kris Humphries.
Seriously? My whole toe just broke in half.
What you are seeing there is domestic violence. And indeed, that's what that was. That's domestic violence. But Dylan, in spite of the backlash, in spite of the, I'm concerned about what it's done to the institution of marriage personally, but that's my thing. But in spite of all of this, the brand continues to thrive.
Yes, it does, but I think it's been tarnished significantly.
I'm
going to
go to that store in Las
Vegas,
Vegas, and I'm going to see who's in that store buying. But did you tell me $10
I sent
bottles
a
of water?
reporter this week up to their store in Calabasas, K-Dash I think it's called, a $10 bottle of water, not golden water, not mineral water, not sparkling water, $10 of plain, probably
And people
tap
are
water,
buying it.
and people are buying it. Their brand has suffered as a result of the 72-day marriage. People have been exposed to the fact that everything in their life is scripted, and that television show, for want of a better deal, they wanted that marriage. It became a key storyline. I think we've woken up to that for those that weren't awake to it. And I think there's going to be some serious issues for them going forward. Their star is not shining as brightly as it was at the start of the year.
You guys, I got to
the
go.
ratings just as high on
They
the new
are.
show?
The ratings
Yeah,
are
it's
up.
just the worst example of the
I gotta go
1%, these
to.
people,
I got to
you
go to
know,
break,
just
guys.
the
But
money.
it's, again, let's not blame the Kardashians. Let's blame us. We are we are consuming this crap. Okay,
Not
it's
all
us.
of us are.